Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Elzar's Random Shit. Uh, Today I'm just gonna be doing no script, not that I do scripts, of shows that I've watched of anime. And if you don't know what that is, it's Japanese fucked up cartoons. Alright, so I'm gonna be explaining the most fucked up ones I've ever watched and explaining it in my own opinion and what to expect if you watch this kind of stuff. Don't take it seriously if you actually like it. It's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. Alright, I'll be back. Please note I cannot fully pronounce some of the names. I'm like Canadian, so I can't pronounce shit. Alright, so this is the first one, Kunokon, pretty sure. I'm gonna be playing the theme music in the background. Pretty sure that's copyrighted, so hopefully I don't get sued. Okay, so let's see what to say. So it's about bestiality, little boys, little girls, molesting little girls. Put those all together, and you get this show. Let's see, okay, so to me, okay, so there's this gay boy who is not really gay, and he is being seduced by the two girls on the screen. I don't remember their name because they're fucking hard to pronounce apparently. Anyway, so they're like wolf spirits or something, I don't even fucking know, but then they go like all crazy in the fucking bestiality, so she's trying to molest him, and then apparently they love each other but not really, and then they get into a lot of fights, and they eat lots of treats, and she keeps on trying to have sex with him, but he's being a little bitch and doesn't want to do it, and he's like, Grandpa, I'm gonna be turned into a man, and she's like, oh, I want you, and he's like, no, I don't want to get molested, and he keeps on yelling out to his grandpa, because apparently his grandpa's dead because he's from like a farm, and then that blonde chick is fucking annoying as shit because she keeps on like seducing him with her little nipples. And it's kind of like, it's just fucked up, and Japanese people need to like just keep it going because fucked up shit is okay. So yeah, that little guy is gay but not really, and yeah, and apparently they're 18, but I think he looks like 10, and apparently every anime is like that. That is my opinion of Kenokon. It's bestiality, pretty much. That's what it is. If you want to go see something with bestiality in it, there you go. All right, next. All right, sorry I couldn't get the whole one of this, so it's just a half. But this is Sword Art Online, and this is just as confusing, and I probably don't even understand it myself because it's Japanese. No offense to Japanese. You just don't know how to make a storyline. Okay, so it's a typical. You know, guys, come on. It's a typical guy goes into an RPG game, or MMO, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, online game. It's like this, like, in the future shit. It's like 2020. And they go into the game, and it's like all those mind shit, and he's actually in the game, and you can walk around with his, like, headgear or some shit. And the crazy-ass owner's like, "Wah, you can't leave, assholes. I locked you in the game. If you try and take your headgear off, or someone else does, or if you die in the game, you die in real life. Typical shit. Blah." So this guy is a loner, and he like doesn't want to be with anyone. He's a solo player, and all these people have guilds and fucking clans and all that shit. But he goes by himself, and he hides his level because apparently he doesn't want anyone to find out his actual level, and blah 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 blah. He meets some chick who's fucking just like wants to survive, and then he eventually marries her, and he's like 17, 16. Yeah, I know, you fucking, it's a video game, who cares? And then at the end, you think it's at the end, but it's not, because when he defeats the guy, I know, spoiler, fuck you, I don't care, you shouldn't be watching this if you haven't watched it before, at the very end, and then the guy, he's like, blah, 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 and he dies. Okay, but the really confusing part is that he goes, he's like, goes one-on-one on him, and then he's like, oh no, if I died, make her not commit suicide for a short amount of time. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. Yippity-doopity-doo. And he takes off his invincibility and blah, 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 blah. And then he's gonna go kill her, but his girlfriend, or whatever the fuck, jumps in front of him, and he slices her, so she dies in the game, which now means she's dead in real life. And then he stabs the guy, and he's like, no, I can't die. And he watches his health bar go, He's like, no, I can't die. I can't die. And then he comes back alive, but he's like a ghost, and he takes a sword, and he shoves in that guy, and he's like, yeah, I won. But not really, because he's like all crying because he's a little bitch, and then he goes to like game heaven or something, and then he's not dead. And then he sees his like wife or girlfriend, and she's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" And they hug. And then the game designer comes in, and he's like, "Congratulations for beating the game. I don't even know why I did this. It's pointless now. I don't see, but there's like a castle and stuff and clouds, and it was beautiful." And he's not even mad for all the people that he killed. He killed like 4,000 people, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's okay, bro. You're cool. You're cool. It was a pretty fun game." So anyway, so he comes out of the game, and he retrains his body. He finds out like his in-game wife's thing, because apparently they fell in love, and apparently that can happen. And so then he goes to the hospital, but something's wrong with her headgear, and she can't like get him out of the coma, and like this weird fucking nerd guy is gonna marry her while she's in the coma, and he's getting all mad. He's like, no. So then another game comes out, and then like one of their buddies that he found in the game was like, "Oh man, I found her in the game. This new game, have you heard of it? It's some fucked up fairy thing where it's like these fairies going at each other, and they're like blah 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 blah, and they're like they're fairies, and they're shit like they're like swords and magic and like territory and all that good shit." And he's like, "Oh my god!" So he goes home, and he goes in the game. He uses the headgear again. He's like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna find this bitch." And then he goes in the game, and then he meets this like fairy that helps him to get to like the fucking big tree that beats the game or some shit, and like she's in the very top of the tree, but there's like a hill now and fucking blockade because the people tried to get up on it flying, but then the flying didn't work, so they put like a wall over it now. And then he's like, "Oh fuck, can you help me?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, okay." So like she abandons her home, and like the owner or like the gay destroys some shit, and stuff happens. And then when he gets to the thing, this is current, it's not like the full thing, but anyway, so like when he gets to the big ass magical tree, all the fairies and everything are there, and like and then something happens, and then he goes into the tree, and like tries to fly all the way up to reach the stage or whatever, the fucking like the end, but he dies because he's super weak and he just started. And then like the girl that was going, she like fell in love with him, and he's like, "No, you can't die here," but it's not really, because this game doesn't have any bugs and you can log off and stuff and you don't die in real life. And she's like, no, and then she's about to say, "I love you," and then he's like, I gotta save my lover," and some fucking dumbass shit. She's like, "What?" And he like says the name of it. I don't even know what it's called, in some Japanese name. And she's like, "What?" And then she's like, "I gotta save Kanahumina." And she's like, "Oh my god, are you Kanene?" Oh, I don't know. I don't know their names. I'm really sorry. They're just confusing. I've watched a lot of this shit. Anyway, so she's like, "What?" And then they find out they're brother and sister. And then she's like, "Oh my god, I'm in love with my brother." And she's like, "Oh, in love with her brother." And she's like, "Oh my god, but I can't do it." Blah 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 blah. Incest, and because she's an incest. And then that's the end. Okay. See you later. Next vid. Comment.